everybody, and welcome back to You Can't Win. This is Tom here, and I'm joined by Don as usual. We have two guests for you. AgileTablet is returning, as well as our good friend Sid. Are we calling you Sid or Cud?
Yeah, we'll go with Sid.
Okay. Yeah, so this is now the You Crying Women podcast, as we were talking about.
Welcome to the show, Sid.
Oh, thank you. I'm just excited to level things. You know, 2 men, 2 women. I have a feeling
That's right.
It's going to get pretty nasty in here.
So how is your lockdown summer going?
Me? Oh,
yes,
me.
so.
You know, it's not good, Don. It's just not good. I had to move in the middle of it in June across the country. So, well, I didn't have to. I just did. Not fun.
You're one of those super spreaders, huh?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we stopped in New Mexico and contributed to that outbreak, which, you know, that's fine. They sort of expect that of Americans. But it's bad, and I've also just entered the workforce, which...
You did?
Well, no. What I mean is here I am looking for a job.
Okay.
From us? We got nothing for you.
Yeah.
Overall, pretty good timing, so...
Is it still like boiling hot over there?
It...
Oh, you're in... Can we say where you are?
Yes.
You're in LA now.
I am. I'm in LA, the Windy City.
You're in Tinseltown.
That's right. It's
USA.
It's hot, but no, the heat wave broke, thankfully.
That's good. Since you have moved there, have you been able to see anyone? Like, what is it like socializing at this point? Like,
Yep.
for me, the reason I'm asking is because for me, I already didn't socialize. So it wasn't that much of a difference. But now you're in a new city and you know people there. So what's that like?
There's really no socializing. I don't know a ton of people here.
Yeah.
You know, a couple people from online who are basically recluses themselves. So, you know, every now and then I'll hang out with like Ryan's friends. But I mostly stay inside and look longingly out the window.
Yeah. I don't know. Has my bothering you to maybe take up biking like I have? Has that had any effect?
You bothered me about that less than 1 day ago, so no.
But you already have a bike. It's not like you have to buy one.
No, you're right. I'm actually nursing a hurt knee, so one day I'll get back in the saddle.
Literally.
That's right. Don, what have you been doing, buddy?
Well, I live in like rural Canada, basically. Well, like a small town, so not really much exciting other than like watching Deadwood and like and you know, going to Walmart. The two big things out here. So yeah.
Wow, they have Walmart in Canada. I did not know that.
Yep, and I don't know, and doing the podcast. Obviously, that's about it. Those 3 things. About the whole extent. So I don't know. Although they just opened up the movie theater here again.
Oh, weird.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really sold on it yet. But that's pretty much the extent of I don't know, entertainment in these parts.
Are you like a hypochondriac type?
Not really. I don't think so. Although I do get like, if I get like a symptom of something, I do sometimes convince myself that half convince myself that it's something worse, and then it usually turns out to be okay. But yeah, I'm not like full on like germ guy or something, no. So yeah.
You know, I've given myself false COVID like 5 times so far. Just fucking imagining like, oh my god, is that sweat? Is that a fever? It's coming, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Did you get tested at all, or?
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
Really?
As often as I can. I'm trying to tax the system, you know. Just struggling, so I want to give back what I've been getting.
I keep thinking that I'm coming down with something, and then okay, so obviously the fact that there's a pandemic makes you more hyper aware of any symptoms you might experience, and any minor symptom you're like, oh, I wonder if it's COVID. I wonder if it's COVID.
Mhm.
But then I found myself, if it's something else, like if it's just a normal cold, I had like the opposite reaction where I was like, I haven't been around anybody. I wear a mask. What the hell? Why do I even have like I would like didn't want to believe it, you know, like getting sick with anything else.
Right.
And it was weird because I was like, am I eager to have COVID or something like that?
Yeah.
But so far nothing. Have not gotten sick really once since this went down.
I mean,
Knock
doesn't
on
it?
wood.
It makes sense that we wouldn't like. Shouldn't we have, if we're not exposed to the outdoors as much as normal, like, wouldn't we be?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
We're in an apartment building, though. Like, the air is circulating through all the
No.
units. And
No, it's not. We
Yeah.
would smell everyone else's food if that were true.
yeah, there's some ethnic cooking going on in this building.
Okay, all right.
Get them.
So,
But we don't share. That's, I mean, like we don't share heat bills, the whole building. You know what I mean? Like they're all separate.
I guess I assumed there would be some overlap of air breathing, though, in each building, right?
Probably a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough or direct enough
Right.
or sustained enough to transmit anything.
Time to
I
find
don't think
out.
anyone in the building has gotten sick or anything either.
No, not that I know of.
Do any of you know anyone who has it or has gotten it?
No, not
Yeah,
personally.
I don't think
No.
so.
just online people.
Yeah, just like little stories like, oh, I had a cough in March, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of people who think that they may have had it, but by the time they realized it was like a month later and they didn't get a test or da 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 da.
Well, COVID is fake theory is starting to get a little bit more support with all this anecdotal evidence here.
That's
But
right.
I understand Agile's thing about like if you get sick with one thing, it feels like it's wasted. Like you don't,
Oh my
like it's
God.
you got like you get kind of like cheated because you don't, it's like I'm sick and it's not even COVID. Like what's the
Yeah.
I can't like brag about it to people. Whatever, so, yeah.
Bragging from my deathbed for clout.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah, mine's really bad. I have like 1 day left.
I don't know. That's kind of a funny thing. You see all those people that do that, like with the thumbs up in the hospital bed stuff, being like, take this seriously and stuff. And I guess it's like true that like I don't know, like there might be theoretically someone that's not taking it seriously that sees it, but I just feel like people are just sharing that to each other that all have it or are convinced it's the worst thing ever or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's not actually some educational thing. I don't know. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that could easily be crisis actors and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Oh, I thought they looked familiar.
Yeah, it's the what's the kid's name? Hogg, David Hogg.
Yeah.
For that kid should be a Republican.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
Look at him. He's a mini
Oh,
Beto.
okay.
Well, okay. Beto O'Rourke should also be a Republican. Just...
Sid thinks everyone should be Republican. She's always saying this. Everyone.
That's right. I am always saying this.
And she's right.
Sid the crypto Republican.
That's right. No, not crypto anymore. It's 2020, baby.
So you said you had about like a 30-minute rant or so about guns you wanted to lay out for us?
Oh, you misheard me. 30 seconds tops.
Sure.
I'm thinking about guns these days. You know what I mean? It's on the news. Guns. People with guns. People are getting killed with guns.
That's true.
It makes me wonder, what's a gun, ultimately? At the end of the day, what are guns,
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little bit of research, and I think you'll be happy to find that there are about 3 main types of guns. Okay, so you got your handguns, you've got your rifles, you've got your shotguns. All right. Now I don't want to get too specific. Okay, it's going to be boring to people like you three. But I'll just a brief overview of each type. You got your handguns, which are, less than 16 inches in barrel length. You're going to hold those typically with one hand. Now, certain countries define handguns differently. So, I think Australia... No, it's South Africa. You actually have to be able to hold it in one hand, all right? Now, another thing about handguns, you're not going to need any, hip or shoulder support for firing a handgun, okay? Then you've got, on the other end of the spectrum, shotguns, right? So barrel length, over 18 inches, all right? It's going to fire one time every time you pull a trigger. And you're going to need 2 hands for a shotgun. And you're going to brace the shotgun against either your shoulder or your hip. And then right there in the middle, all right? Right in that sweet spot, rifles, okay? Now that's going to be another 2-hander, all right? You're going to need to brace it against your shoulder for sure. It can be greater than 16 inches in barrel length, but less than 18 inches, all right? Now, the most interesting thing about rifles, they get their name from the rifling inside the barrel. So if you put your eye right up to the barrel of a rifle.
And you should, just to make sure everything's up to snuff, all right? You're going to see some rifling. All right. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, that makes sense, because I was thinking about that. Handgun makes sense. You use your hand.
Right, one hand. Yes,
Shotgun,
exactly.
You fire a shot with the gun. So
That's
this
true.
is all adding up. But rifling kind of, that makes sense for the rifle.
It's sort of like, who came up with that? Rifle?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Kind of a gay ass name, sounds like a delicate Christmas time treat, a little rifle. Sucking on a rifle. And that's actually how suicide was invented. So that's it for me.
End of the bit.
That's it.
That's very good. Thank you, Sid. That's
You're
some
welcome.
applause.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, I have an advanced degree and I cannot get a job. So. Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. What are you going to do with this information? Where is this headed?
I'm thinking about sort of getting out there and getting involved.
Getting shot by one of these?
Getting experience in the way of getting shot, and also doing some shooting myself.
Okay.
Both ends there.
Right. I'd like to be on both ends, and at the same time would be great. I heard there's no greater equilibrium for a human body than to shoot and be shot at the exact same time. I've heard of it as a million times an orgasm. So
wow,
looking forward to that.
Amazing. That's why all these people are showing up at the protests. That's what they're going for.
They're chasing that high, that singular high.
Wow.
So, for jobs that you're applying to, are you trying to stick to your sort of narrow area, or are you are you just trying to take any job that you can find at this point during the collapsed economy and whatnot?
First of all, how dare you talk about my country's economy as if you have any fucking clue.
Thank you, Sid. I have to put up with this every week. This goddamn Canadian smugness.
I am perturbed. I am looking for jobs that are in no way related to anything I've ever studied.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm applying to be a machine operator at General Mills, and I'm getting I'm getting rejected routinely from these types of jobs. So I don't know. Maybe next step is an OnlyFans. We'll see.
No, please don't do that.
Oh, it really hurts me that you actually think for a second that I would do that. Deeply hurts and wounds me.
It's a very confused time for this OnlyFans thing. It seems like it's sucking up a lot of people into its tornado of sin. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's not for me. I love God, so.
That's good to hear. Have you considered the police?
You are actually gonna fucking love this. So, you know how I'm the only person in my family who's not like a felon?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
one of my currently incarcerated brothers, who like is he's been in jail for on and off for my entire life. This current stint has been like 2 or 3 years now. He will not stop asking me to move home and be a corrections officer at his jail.
We can hang out in the cafeteria.
No,
I'll give you my Jello.
He's like, you know, the money's really good. It's like $50,000 a year. You would just live at home with mom and like not pay any bills. And I'm like, yes, that sounds actually really good to me. I'm not hearing any negatives to that. Plus, I could change the system from the inside.
Yeah.
I mean,
you only occasionally have to stop 300-pound men from trying to stab each other with sharpened toothbrushes, I guess. But you know,
I mean, living in LA is a lot like that anyway. So.
Yeah.
Ryan is constantly trying to shiv people, and you're
He's-
always just jumping. I mean, it's like a second job,
That's
right?
right.
You're just like jumping
Well,
in there all the time.
It's a first job.
A first job, yeah. It's true.
imagine Sid walking up to people going, "Mexicans got boots." If you guys know that bit, yeah, it's not.
No, I don't, but I love it. I really love it. Especially because you would never catch a Mexican wearing boots here.
Well, that's kind of yeah. Anyway, I'll send you a link to that
Please.
after the.
That's Ali Sadiq, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Mexicans got boots.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
Is that
He
one of-
already
yeah.
established no one else knows the bit.
It's from
That's
one
right.
of the
Anyway.
Muslim sermons or whatever.
Yeah, I
Like
love
the-
those.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
inspirational.
Muslim sermons.
It's a hadith.
A
Which in
Muslim
itself,
sermon. Also called communion, taking communion.
That's
Sure.
right.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if you would be able to get shot as a correctional officer or corrections officer, whatever it's called. But just like a straight up police officer on the beat, you can
Yeah.
shoot and get shot.
That's true. You know, I like to think if I were a CO, I'd be pretty loosey-goosey with my weapon. So, you know, just to level the playing field,
Yeah.
I'd sort of wave it
Oh, whoops.
around and
Throw it on the
offer it up.
cafeteria table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, serve it to someone on their lunch tray. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry.
You're dropping
Just-
it like a gay guy drops the
Oop.
bar of soap. You're like, whoopsie, I dropped my gun.
Yeah, that's right.
Guy's trying to sleep, and you're like, "Hey, did you know there's 3 types of guns?"
Yeah.
Sid, do you want to tell the story of the woman who yelled at you for not wearing a mask?
You're gonna make people think that I'm anti-mask.
No, I'm sorry. You're not. She was crazy, but that's why I thought you might want to set the record straight.
You know, I have to say, Tom, you kind of seem like someone who would resist masks. Is that true?
No, I've been wearing it. Although one time I did forget to take it with me, and I went to the grocery store, and then I kind of just was like, yeah, whatever. And I was the only person without a mask.
Wow, and no one said anything?
No, I mean, people are starting to wear it here with like their nose sticking out. That's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
the new
Constantly.
thing. Like
Constantly.
people wear them, but they don't really wear them properly, which is like, just do it or don't do it. You know, like
Right.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I think people don't realize... Well, one, people don't realize the mechanism of how viruses are spread, which is like... That's the fucking least you could do is learn that in the
And-
middle
and
of this pandemic.
do you understand the mechanism of how the virus spreads, Sid?
I deeply understand it, okay?
Because I've been
Now, I'm-
curious about this.
No, I don't want to get into it because I was thrown for a loop today because Ryan said, "How come masks work and you can also smell people's farts through their pants?" Now, my guess is that something about the size of the particles. Your fart particles, also known as farticles, a lot smaller. All right. A lot smaller than a virus.
I
Anyway,
have heard that it spreads by farts.
yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not making that up. Like I think
No,
that's actually
yeah,
true.
there's been stuff about it through feces, not through farts,
Mm.
but like at sewage treatment plants and that kind of thing being a problem there. I don't know if any of those have been substantiated, but I have read a handful of things here and there about that kind of thing. So I always get nervous because my bike route is along the Chicago River, which is well known to still have raw sewage in it. So sometimes when it's like really like windy, I'm like getting nervous that I'm going to just inhale like old COVID poop from the river, and I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, that is a thing.
I'm getting to the point where I don't know if you agree with this. It's like, aren't we all gonna get it at some point? So like, shouldn't we get it now while it's slightly weaker, presumably, before it mutates into something more grotesque than ever?
It could mutate into something weaker. Like there's no, it's not like evolving like a Pokemon over time. Like it's just gonna change. I think it actually, there are some theories that it has mutated into a weaker strain by the time it got to the West. One that's like more, it spreads easier, but it's less lethal. And that might be why we aren't having like massive numbers of people in the hospital and stuff like that, like China and Italy had.
Tom, would you be willing to explain the rest of the virus in relation to Pokemons? Well,
Yeah, if you could, that would be great.
They both come from a very evil place in the east. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all, okay.
Say no more. But yes, okay, back to this. I'll just tell this quickly because it haunts my every waking moment. I went for a run, and I mean, it seems insane to me to wear a mask to run, just like for myself, and also like I'm not gonna give it to anyone while I'm sprinting past them. And yes, I do always go at a full sprint for the entire run. So I get done with the run, and I'm like maybe like 10 steps away from the gate to my house. And this woman is walking in the same direction, and as I crossed the street, I noticed like in her body language something was wrong. Like you know how sometimes I watch a lot of like public freakout videos and like
Hell yeah.
So does Tom.
That's what I watch before I go to sleep. Like
Literally.
at 3 in the morning, I'm on that subreddit, just like kind of browsing
Oh
the
my
daily
God.
catches.
There is nothing more delicious to me than public freakouts. And so lately, obviously, there's a ton of Karens on there, if you will.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can tell by a woman's body language that she's slightly unhinged in some way. There's something like constantly agitated. It's like her particles are moving too fast. And you can perceive this. And there's just something, an evil vapor in the air near her. So I sensed this, and I was actually about to like lean over to Ryan and make some joke about this woman's vapors. And she like hastily she's walking ahead of me on the same side of the road, and she goes and gets in the street, and she starts like mumbling under her breath. And all I heard was like a mask, and then I heard her say, what did she say? I have to get in the road because you won't wear a mask. And so and she's saying it like not even at me, just like near me, which is so, like, if you're gonna fucking say something, just fucking say it, dude. Nothing is more disgusting than your weak, just say it. So I stop, I turn, I look at her, and I go, are you okay? You know, I'm just like, is this woman okay? Does she need help? She's mumbling under her breath. And she's like, yeah, you just don't seem to care about anyone but yourself.
Oh.
Okay, so, first of all, this woman's concerned about the wrong thing. She thinks that she's gonna get COVID from me from 20 feet away while she's also wearing a mask. I mean, it's just incredible that you would think that. Now, I could get over this. This could have been fine, but the worst possible thing happened. incoming on my side of the sidewalk is a tall man of color. All right.
That's never good news.
Yeah. I'm scared for my life. Just kidding. Now, he hears all of this, and he looks at this woman and says, I appreciate that. He appreciated that, okay?
They're always
So,
appreciating stuff.
you know, mind your own fucking business, okay? I mean, I was just sick to my stomach because now I'm like actually questioning, like, am I a bad person? You know, and I can't question this wonderful black man, okay, who has
Right.
done no wrong. He's automatically right, no matter
You got
what.
the white woman and black man alliance against you.
Exactly. And now
Yeah,
she has that chaotic energy that seems to attract his type.
Oh my God.
No, you're gonna have to edit that one. But so
Are you saying she's a little overweight? Is that what you
Tom.
okay, I think he was gay is what I was getting at.
Oh, gotcha.
A different thing. So, you know, he appreciates what she has taken a stand against me. I'm the bad person. All right. She has no fucking idea. Maybe I just got tested. Yes, she does. Anyway, all of this happens, and I just can't stop thinking about the validation of her by him. And you know, the only reason she's doing it is because she saw someone nearby and like wanted a pat on the back. And you can't say so. Like, imagine her saying that to. Okay, this is gonna sound like white. There's such a thing as like white genocide, but like. She literally, you can't say something like that about the mask to any person of color. You just can't. You know? So she saw a white victim and she attacked. And that is not right. Okay?
I hear
Anyway.
you, Sid.
Thank you. I'm calm. I'm calm. Okay? I'm definitely not coming up with many better things I should have and could have said. I don't replay the incident in my head several times a day.
I mean, if I'm just thinking like now this would be a good time to shove her into traffic, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's many times that during this encounter that I'm thinking like, okay, here's where she does it.
I wish I was that brave. You know, she must live on my street, so that's exciting. Knowing that at any point in time I could recognize her heaving
You could encounter-
particles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta come up with something at the ready for next time I spot her.
Well, so
Yeah.
what did you do? Did you just kind of run away or?
I sprinted away. I was so scared. I didn't want them to team up against me. No, I just, I said something like, you don't know what you're talking about or something like that, and just like carried on into my building.
You should have
Which
given
was-
him the wink and the finger guns and just kind of gone on your merry way.
No, you don't understand. I currently have COVID, so this is fine. Oh, you can't hear me? Come a little bit closer. God. I've been cooped up for too long. I start to get antsy. I keep replaying this phrase in my head, which is, I am not the one. I'm dying to say that to someone. And I'm afraid that at any point I could snap.
Did you see that public freakouts video? The guy in front of the grocery store? Is that where you picked that up from?
Oh my God, no.
Black guy and a white lady, and she's confronting him about something, and he's like, "I am not the one." You know, that kind of that whole thing.
God. I haven't seen that, but it doesn't matter. I have. You know what I mean?
You got it fucked up. I'm not the one today.
You got me fucked up. Oh, I am not the one. Well, that's enough about me. Just know that a fight will happen soon, and I will succeed. I will be the winner.
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of not on board with like a 1,000-year quarantine.
Yeah, sorry, I was screaming.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on. No, I'm not on board.
Oh, come on.
We gotta get it. We just gotta get it, and that's it.
But there's no guarantee that getting it will give you any sort of lasting immunity at all. So what's the point of why rush, headlong into it?
Who cares about that? I just want the 1,000-year quarantine. Whatever. COVID.
I
no
know.
COVID.
I'm sorry.
1,000 years. You know, some people are so unlucky. Imagine being born, like, right during the plague, and that's your whole life. Like, there's no normal world for you. God, we're fucked, dude.
I don't know. If I could find work in this situation, I think I would be pretty. I don't know. I'll probably change my tune once the winter comes, because if I can't go out every day, I'm gonna start going stir crazy real fast.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. This is like summer vacation, but it's just going on forever.
Are you still working, Tom?
Yeah, I'm working from home.
Wow. Good for you.
Yep.
He's just sick. He doesn't go outside at all. Ever.
Honestly.
He loves it. Listen to that cackle. It's not even an unhinged cackle like you might expect from someone who, you know, should have cabin fever. He just doesn't. He's fine. It's insane.
I think he's lucky.
He must be.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
It's
here,
bizarre
you
to
know,
me.
talking about me in third person. That's pretty rude.
I don't trust you. I don't know that it is you.
She's locking her door at night.
Yeah. She's going a little quarantine crazy, that's what I say.
Every time I do anything, that's what he says.
Oh my god.
Going quarantine crazy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And she's been, you know, riding her bike and stuff, so she's getting a tan, and I'm staying inside all the time, so I'm getting real pasty and pale. So whenever we're like sitting next to each other, I just start going ebony and ivory, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. You're completely see-through at this point. Watching your heart pump blood to the rest of you.
It's just
He's
another
like one of
gift of
those-
the quarantine. It's just fun stuff all the time.
He's like one of those like deep cave eels where they have no you know, they're eyeless, they have no pigmentation. He's just sliding through the apartment every day. I don't know. He's a freak. I don't know how to put it any more bluntly. It just, I don't know. There's something wrong if you never have to go outside. You never have that urge to get fresh air or stretch your legs or anything. What's going on there?
It's hard to know if he hasn't evolved or if he's evolved too far.
That is a good point. That's true.
What's funny is when I do go outside, it doesn't feel like it's just fine, you know. I don't feel like I'm doing, you know, sometimes when you're like stuck inside all the time and then you go outside, it feels weird in some way. Like it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It just feels fine. I enjoy it out there. It's when it's nice and warm or whatever, if it's not too hot, all that kind of stuff. And then I just come back inside and it's fine. Everything's cool.
For the first few weeks, I was like Tom, and I was kind of like, we would kind of back and forth almost be like, you know, oh, this is easy. We could do this all,
Right.
you know, for 1,000 years, whatever. And then slowly started cracking over time until I'm at this point, I'm like 95% of the time, completely fine, no problem. And then you know, ever so often it's like 5 a.m. and I'm like pacing around and just like muttering to myself and stuff, being like, oh yeah, this is fine. I'm completely good. I'm going to survive this probably, or whatever, you know, so yeah.
Yeah,
know.
just lighting match after match.
Yeah.
I was excited at the beginning. I mean, how could you not be?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm still feeling. I'm just holding that you know, that flame lit. I feel like this is kind of the Finnish side of me. Like in another life, I would have been some kind of like Arctic, like, you know, leading some people up into the north, like to just camp out there for 6 months or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I can
yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
I cannot see him doing that.
Well, I can see the aftermath, which is just him and
Everyone
him and
else dies, and I come back and I'm like, that was fun. Where'd everyone else go, Tom? They'll be here soon.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. So I think it's about time that we get into some of the questions here. So let's see. What's the first one? Okay. So does the Turk lust for Vienna? If so, isn't lust a sin in Islam? So yeah, this is kind of interesting. You know, people talk about the Islamification of Turkey under Erdogan and all that kind of stuff. So lust is sort of a sin, I guess you could say that. Like, it's more the acting on the lust that's the sin. The lust itself isn't a sin. But in any case, the Islamification of Turkey is actually to kind of curtail this lust for Vienna and kind of hold it back. So,
Huh.
fun
Are they
fact.
is like the neo-Ottoman stuff? Do they have claims in their like fake maps, whatever, on like Europe? Like, are they like we're gonna push into Yugoslavia or something like the Balkans?
As
Or
far as I understand, I don't think there's that even really exists. I don't think there's
Yeah.
like actual neo Ottomans.
oh, really? Is this like a media thing?
That's what I understand. Maybe there's some like tiny little group, you know, of weirdos or something, but it's not like a real political force.
What about like pan-Turkic stuff other than that? kind
That's
thing,
more of
you
a
know?
thing. So, like there's the Grey Wolves in Turkey, and then there's various like pan-Turkic groups throughout the Turkic countries, and the ultimate goal, which is I don't think it's just taken super seriously, but there is this idea of uniting all the Turkic countries, including Turkey, into like a federation or just sort of like an alliance of some kind, or maybe even like some kind of super state or something.
Are those is that more common? Is it more common to find that sort of attitude in the Turkic countries in Central Asia than it is to actually find it in Turkey itself?
I'm not really sure. I don't think it's super common in any
Either
case.
way,
It
yeah.
is becoming a little bit more of like a diplomatic tool that Turkey is using, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's definitely not like I don't think they're writing on this like kind of fringe ideology, but I think that is sort of like something that's been encouraged because of the way that like these kind of diplomatic missions have gone and stuff, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, let's see. Have you ever taken up meditation? If so, did you find it effective or worthwhile? Any meditators here?
Not I.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I've never been able to. Yeah, I can't do it.
Huh.
I feel like if you were able to, you would. It just seems like something that you would do.
Yeah, it seems like a really nice thing. I mean, I do activities that I find, I don't know, if something is just nice and relaxing and calming, I don't really feel like that's the same thing as actual meditation. So I don't want to insult it and call it a meditative action. But yeah, I don't know. I've no, I usually start getting upset when I try to meditate, either just at the fact that I can't clear my mind or like relax it, or the thoughts that start bubbling up immediately are ones that upset me and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really haven't had a lot of luck there. I don't know. But that's okay. I don't know. I have other things like I do contemplation in other regards, so I don't really feel like I'm missing out terribly, you know?
What about like activities that you know that phrase flow state?
Sure, yeah.
Have you ever achieved that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I not in some sort of transcendental way, but yeah, sure, like running or even music. That's actually something I really miss a lot when I used to play music. Just playing with a group of people, and then you kind of get lost in that. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite things, and I do miss that. But I don't think that made me. I don't know. I don't feel like it accomplished anything other than being a nice state of being. Like, I don't think it made me like, I don't know, what the hell is meditation supposed to do for people? I don't think it made me like more circumspect or calmer or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it did, but no, but yeah, I've definitely experienced flow. What about you?
You know, I used to try to meditate a lot when I had a harder time falling asleep. Um,
Mm.
so, and similarly, like, was really frustrated by it. But then eventually, I think I got the hang of it. I mean, you can't do it incorrectly, right? Is the whole thing about it. but I eventually reached a point where I felt it was successful, and it sort of functions, from what I understand, it sort of functions the way that like your REM cycle while you're sleeping functions, which is like it like scrubs the brain. It's like this. It is. It's like this cleaning. It's like this cleaning thing that I guess. I mean,
mental hygiene.
Yeah, exactly. It cleanses you of all impure thoughts. I don't know. It was calming and like helped me fall asleep, but I don't know. I can't say. It's been so long now that I can't say for sure whether it was beneficial to my life in any way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sort of functioned to me the way that like journaling functions.
Another thing I haven't really done.
Yeah, it's not fun actually.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
You do keep up a regular journal? I see. I find I can't. I don't trust anyone. I'm not gonna do that because I feel like someone's gonna see it. Anything that I write is gonna be just like public knowledge, no matter what. The second that it goes to paper, just like anything, any negative thought I had about someone.
Really?
No. I mean, like, even just if I typed it, I'm like, no, that's just public knowledge now. That's out of my brain. And
I would think that the doing it on paper instead of online would be a nice added layer of security.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm too mental for that or something. Like the second that I wrote it down, like this guy was giving me grief today and I was angry about it or something like that, and that guy knows or something. So yeah.
Do you feel that way about like anything, any correspondence that you have, or just specifically journaling?
Yeah, I mean, I do to some extent with any correspondence, I guess, but like at some minimal level or something. Like I don't like talking behind people's back as much. I do it a lot, but like I mean, like it's just like like I don't, I don't like wanting to. I don't know. I want to be able to defend what I say to one person to another person, I guess, kind of thing or something. So
yeah, no, it's a really good policy, and don't you really don't do that very often, Donald. You're good about that.
Speak for yourself. He's the town gossip.
Gossy Don, they say.
That's right.
Yeah, I did get I don't know if prescribes the word, but like a lot of therapists and stuff over the years, like psychiatrists that are like meditation is the way to go. And I know that's kind of like a fad kind of thing now, where like what do they call it? Being in the moment or something, but like some special word or whatever, I can't remember. Mindfulness, yeah.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's annoying that it does work to some extent, kind of thing. Like it'd be nice if it was just completely junk, but like
right.
it does, like the meditation, all that stuff, it does help a bit, and but it does also feel like at the moment, like when you're first starting out on that kind of stuff, it seems like the stupidest idea that anyone could have told you. Like, you're like having a panic attack, and it's like, oh yeah, just sit quietly and think about nothing for a while or something.
Yeah, okay.
It's like makes sense. Yeah. I'll just I'll do that instead of screaming at the wall or something. So yeah.
Isn't the fad now that that meditation can actually be harmful? I keep seeing that everywhere.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's like I don't know. I whenever I see something that like the drug industry or whatever could benefit from in some way, I just assume it's from them.
Is that where that's coming
from?
I
just assume that that's like something like that. I don't know. I remember there's also religious people that push that a bit too. Like I remember a lot of like religious websites, they have stuff that's trying to prove that meditation causes psychotic breaks, so that it's because it's like infused with demons or something. So yeah.
Right, and you might forget to take your SSRIs. So that's
yeah.
I mean,
that's so weird to me that something that really is almost the exact same thing as like prayer or something like that would, just because it's not in, it's not coming from your tradition, therefore it's like demonic.
Well,
that's so crazy to me.
It's the yoga stuff that they're really angry about. That's the they're like which is why I call it heathen
Muslims
stretching.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of makes sense to me if I'm thinking about like Tabs, the Rodriguez family. They're these evangelical Christians. It's like the way they get you is they don't allow you a moment of like independent thought. Right? So like if you're spending time alone, period, or like alone in your head and like not, I can see why that would be scary or dangerous.
Yeah, I suppose so. I hadn't even considered that. It always seems kind of pleasant to me that they're like always doing communal activities and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really, I'm not, it's not like I'm defending their entire ethos or whatever, but I'm always like, oh, they got each other's backs and stuff like that. But you're right. I'm probably not seeing the,
You know, there's a policing
the more
going on.
sinister. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Tom, did you say if you meditated or not?
I tried it out when I was younger, like around age 15 or so, when I was in India and I was kind of like reading about Buddhism and stuff. I was like, I'll give this a shot, and kind of felt similar to Sid in that I think I was successful in doing it. I didn't really have a ton of trouble with, I didn't have like thoughts that were bothering me. I'm kind of slow, and yeah, it was fine. I didn't see the point in like doing it regularly or anything. I didn't see much benefit. I didn't really enjoy it, especially. But I don't know. I recently downloaded American Truck Simulator, and that's kind of the same thing.
Wow, what's that?
It's a game where you drive a truck, like an 18-wheeler truck, from one location to the other.
Damn, I want to do that.
It actually looks awesome. I was excited that he was getting it, and then I saw him playing it, and I was like, I want to play this.
So I have to have Steam to do that? God.
No, I'll show you how I found it.
Also, okay. I'm looking at the website right now. It honestly looks a lot like, the world that they've built in GTA Vice City.
Yeah, it's cool because like I picked the home base to be like where my parents live in Washington, and I recognize like the roads, like I recognize the areas you drive through and stuff. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. That sounds like meditating.
I was thinking of trying the farming ones. I don't know. It's like Farm Simulator or whatever. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that one, but yeah, I like these like sim games. They're neat. Although the new Flight Simulator looks kind of bad to me.
Oh,
really?
Too many people are posting screenshots of them like crashing into Jeffrey Epstein's hut. Like, we fucking get it.
There's not even like a crash animation. It just like when you're about to die, it just has like a little text box pop up and say like, you crashed. I'm like, what is this, like 1992 or something? Like, you can't even give me a good airplane crash.
Right. In 92, when the way that you die is you get a text box that pops up in your line of vision right before you go.
Yeah, that was the jokes.
Oh, I have to go. It was really nice chatting with you guys. Yeah. Goat Simulator, that's something I know about.
That was a meme game.
Oh, okay. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, we only like real serious sims over here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to another question here. Let's say you're able to go back in time. How many hugs do you think it would take to convince Hitler not to do World War II and the Holocaust?
One, if you make it tight enough.
Amen.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess do the Good Will Hunting scene with him. Like it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But I would do that in like April 1945 or something like that.
Don's the reason he killed himself. I honestly think it's a result of too many hugs.
Yeah, you got spoiled and then
right.
Yeah.
Right. I think his family should, if they could all go back, they should take back some of that affection.
Those famously loving Austrian dysfunctional families.
What do you know? What do you know?
I think that works out because like he went to art school, so maybe this family like encouraged his artistic expression and stuff too much. And was like, "Oh, your paintings are so good, Adolf."
Exactly.
And then he went to school, realized he actually sucks, started blaming Jews, yada yada. And then,
as one does.
Yeah. So once again, the soy culture of the libs has caused countless deaths.
I've been saying this.
Okay, how about this one? Any tips for turning down girls respectfully after 1 or 2 dates? Feels too dramatic to do a full, I don't think this is going to work out type thing when you've only met a couple times, but also don't want to ghost or suddenly start ignoring them.
The people who write these messages never fucking listen to the advice anyway. You know? Like, there's no way the guy who wrote this hasn't already dealt with it. So I just feel like...
So.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll just tell you what the right thing to do is, and this is objective, and no one can disagree with this. You're just going to want to send
I disagree.
Okay. All right. You're just going to want to send a brief text, or whatever way that you communicate most. You're just going to want to say, hey, it was really nice meeting you. I don't think I have feelings for you, romantic feelings for you. If you want to be friends with them, then at this point you would say, would love to stay in touch. I understand if you don't want that. Problem solved. Done.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Isn't that pretty much the same thing as, like, I don't think this is going to work out, though? I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Like, that seems like a fine thing
Well,
to say.
they're just, you know, if you do it, if you lay it on too heavy, then the implication is that the other person must have been so into you that you have to, you know, take on this serious tone.
Right.
And then that's offensive too, because it's like, well, no, I didn't care that much, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I would kind of just let it lapse until they get back in touch and just be like, yeah, I'm good. Something like that.
What?
I'm staying inside playing truck sim. You can go to the coffee shop by yourself or something.
Oh,
That's nice.
you're so mean.
I don't know. Dawn, I'd like to hear your take on this.
No, just stick with the relationship. Don't.
Yeah, just...
If you don't.
Never let go.
Yeah.
That has worked for me in the past. So I second that.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been in a position where it's just like casually ending it. I think whenever it's time to end it on my end, I've kind of gone out with a bang. Like,
Handgun, rifle, or shotgun?
one time I just told this really like sensitive wokey woke type of girl a bunch of Patrice O'Neill jokes until she started to cry. Just to like...
Talk about tabs like that.
Hey.
Well, I wasn't pushing, like she was being pushy about it to me, to like, why do you like this? What's so funny about this? Explain this to me. Like she wouldn't like drop it that this was like, I was happy to just not bring it up with her and just enjoy comedy on my own, but like she was like constantly pestering me about it. So I was just like, okay, well, here's a bunch of funny jokes. Maybe you'll get it. And then after like 3 or 4, she just started to cry. I was like, these are so horrible. I was
Literally?
like,
Oh, I honestly just assumed this was a bit.
No, this actually
this-
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's told me about this before. Yeah.
Was that the girl that loved Macklemore?
Yes.
Ugh, what?
Well, this was in Seattle.
Sid.
So at this
That's how I
point,
remembered that.
This
yeah.
was when Macklemore was like big, you know. He was
Yeah.
winning the awards and all that kind of stuff, like exactly at that same time.
Yeah.
You know, man, my last relationship ended right after this disagreement about Ellen DeGeneres. I have to say, I think about it
Really?
from time to time. I mean, it's the
well,
last...
she's in the news, so yeah.
Yeah, have you been
Yeah, well-
vindicated, or were you on the other side?
Yes! Oh my god, yes. Okay, so... Oh god, I just feel like I've been talking too much, but I'm just gonna lean into it. It was when that picture came out of Ellen DeGeneres and George W. Bush,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
palling around, and my ex sent me, you know, a link to the picture and was like, I just thought this was sweet or something, you know. And that's very much, you know, that her ethos is like, you know, everyone should just be nice regardless. And that's certainly one way to live in the world. So, you know, it was bad timing. It just so happened that, like, shortly after she sent me that post being like, aw, I had posted the same thing on Instagram with the caption like, aw, I love that you're friends with a war criminal, blah, you know. You're my hero, Ellen, you're my hero. I love you. I love being gay. So And my ex took it personally, and she was like, I just don't understand why you have to make everything a joke. Why you can't. I was just like, oh God, it's like historically one of the most effective ways to deal with your feelings. Anyway, so she had a lot of issues with how revolutionary my ideas were, which you guys all know me. I'm pretty fucking standard, left, a little left of left, sometimes a little right of right. And
only where ethnicity is concerned.
Yeah. Well, after all of this, after the protests started, she actually reached out to me to be like, I'm sorry that I doubted like your feelings about the police like needing to be abolished.
Oh, really?
Those of us who are real ones have been saying this for a while. Okay, we've been saying all cops should die. Okay. And she apologized, and I was like, I was so humble, of course. I was like, oh my God, I totally haven't been thinking about that. It's not even something that's on my radar. So, and I, went home and high-fived Ryan. I was like, I fucking win. But now, all this Ellen stuff, she's a demon, and I knew it, But I can only imagine that she's sitting at home weeping, thinking I was the one, that probably got away. I'm leading the charge on this revolution, and I'm changing things.
You got to start sending her QAnon stuff, and she's like, she was right about the police. I don't know. This Wayfair stuff is kind of weird. Those are pretty expensive.
Kind of expensive. Yes. I don't even know how we got there. Probably just found an excuse to talk about myself a little more. All right.
That's what
Sid,
we're
you're
here
the
for,
guest.
Sid.
It's okay. That's the point.
You're the guest.
No, I'm just third mic this time.
Yeah. Can you believe Patrice O'Neill has a daughter named Amillion?
Really?
Do you want to know how it's spelled?
Yes.
Aymilyon.
I like that.
Is that true?
It's beyond true.
Okay, it's beyond true. I think there's a word for that, but that's okay.
Nope. 2 words, beyond and true.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Kanye West is running for president. What's next? MC Hammer? All of these hip-hop style presidential candidates are just taking space from lunch pail guys like Bob Dole and Michael Dukakis. Dukakis? I'll go with Dukakis.
Let's do caucus.
Yeah.
You just don't want to have cock in your mouth. I'm sorry. You should take that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely know who those latter 2 people are, so I'm feeling well equipped. To address this.
Do you really not know who Bob Dole
Well,
is?
Bob Dole.
I remember jokes about him being old. That's all.
Yeah. The 2 things you need to know about Bob Dole. 10 years ago, we had Bob Dole, Johnny Cash, and Bill Hope. All right, and now we have no Dole, no Cash, and no jobs or something.
Yeah.
Additionally, he invented canned fruit, I'm assuming. Dukakis, now that's going to sound a little bit Greek, So I don't feel the need to say anything more. Also, MC Hammer hip hop, please, you wish.
Okay.
What?
Such a generous way to classify that.
Oh, I see.
I
Doing
owned him.
All right. Tom, do you have an actual answer for this person?
It wasn't really a question, but I will just say I like what Kanye has to say. I like the whole stop abortions by giving pregnant women $1 million and make Israel pay for it or whatever. Love
that.
This is really good out of the box kind of thinking. It's just kind of unfortunate that his team is failing him and not getting all the petitions or whatever signed that just give him just make him president. Why go through all this rigmarole with the Biden and Trump and stuff? No one wants that bullshit. Just give it to Kanye.
That's true.
It's fine.
See, everyone agrees.
I mean, it would be the same as having Trump as a president, so Whatever.
I think it's slightly different, but
No,
I take your point.
No, it's not. If you don't think Kanye is a white supremacist, then you have not been watching closely.
Well, that's true. I haven't been watching closely. You got me there. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. What is the funniest type of racist? I personally think it's the awful high concept Nazi that keeps sending questions to the YCW Curious Cat.
Is that a thing? Is someone doing that?
Yeah, we get like a dozen questions every week that are like, white pride, Muslim Tom is a race traitor, abandon your Abrahamic, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff.
Well, they're not wrong. Wow, what? That's so weird. Well, I don't want to speak first. I gotta hear what everyone else thinks and then decide.
I think Asian people who are like white supremacists and stuff is pretty funny. Like Chinese guys who are into like the Confederacy. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, agree. Didn't know that was a thing, but I agree.
Yeah, that's
The thing that reminds me of is the Hindu nationalists in India who love Israel. And on Twitter, they'll say things like, thank you, my brother, for speaking up. India is with Israel forever or something like that. And then the Israeli account will be like, I think you look like a pile of poo. Don't talk to me. And then the Indian guy will be like, yes, brother. Thank you, brother. Or something like that. It's just really sick. I don't know. It's a weird... I don't know what kind of parasitism that is. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I'd say along those sort of lines of what Tom was saying is that I like the people who join the neo-Nazi groups and stuff in the United States, like the what do they call them? The alt-right groups, but are like minorities. And
Right.
They're always in the pictures as like now like a third of the people in the pictures of like the groups getting together will be, like Asian guys or black or something. And it's funny because it does undermine all of the, people have to like crop the photos and be like, oh, look at these white guys, whatever. So, I don't know, but I don't know, because you gotta, there's a story there, and that's what's interesting. You gotta think like, where are they? They gotta have like one central grievance that they're like, they join in on, and then they're kind of like wincing every time they start talking about something else or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think any type of racism is funny, but I'm as one of the good whites. But you have to... I know a non-zero number of black people who are very MAGA, and that is like, I mean, just funny as in like baffling. Funny as in queer, but not that type of queer.
That doesn't strike me as so strange, to be honest. Like I don't think there's been some kind of huge uptick in like anti-black stuff from Obama to Trump. Like, there's been more white people who have been, like are outspokenly racist or whatever, but I don't think things have like radically changed in some kind of way where it's like, how could you support this guy? It's like, if you just like, I mean, also a lot of black people are anti-immigrant,
Yeah, well, okay. No, I don't think, like, it hasn't, I don't know that it's gotten worse for black people, but it's been fucking horrible, and people are now starting to have language to discuss how that is and why that is.
Well, I think they've had language for quite a long time. That's kind of
No, I taught them recently.
No, that might be true, but you're talking about black Trump supporters. Their conditions have not changed necessarily. Just because there's now a greater like focus nationally on issues that face black people doesn't mean that the conditions that gave rise to a MAGA black person have changed. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have that opinion and they already had it, like, when things were bad and there wasn't as much attention on it. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a class thing. I mean, it has to be that now it's possible for black people to be, upper middle class.
Less possible than it was 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the middle class has been being
Shrinking.
squeezed out of
Yeah.
existence, and I think that's even worse for minorities than it is for white people. So I don't know.
Well, as per usual, my opinions are wildly unfounded, but I do believe them to be true.
That's all we can ask for.
Thank you. I stand by everything I've said.
Okay, let's move on here.
I forgot to delete some of the old ones, so I didn't go through it. I didn't realize that we were going to do the podcast again ever.
That's all right. It surprises me every week.
Yeah, this is the last one.
All right, so let's try this one out. If you had to live the life of a soulless beast, as godless as they are, which one would it be? My beast of choice would be the sea sponge. No senses, no brain, no genitals equals no problems and no sin.
How did they describe the beast at the very beginning?
Soulless, as godless as they are.
Okay, so I mean that already implies no sin, right? Like it doesn't matter which animal you choose.
Oh, that's a good point.
Sinless.
You can't sin against a soul that you don't have. Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna say river otter because they seem to have a lot of fun. It's not a creative answer, but they just always seem to be having fun sliding down the riverbanks on their bellies. And I know what else they get up to, so you guys, no one needs to message about what they do to baby seals. I know about that. Might be part of my answer.
Wait, what? What else do they get up to?
Never mind. Let's just move on.
Did you say otter or seal?
Otter.
Okay, so
they're the ones that like eat off their belly.
Aww,
Yep, they do.
They're really cute.
They catch a little bivalve, like a clam or an oyster or whatever, and they have a little rock that they put on their belly as they float on their back, and they crack the critter on the rock, and then they eat it.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of like a pet rock. Like it's something that they have like a certain rock that they like to take with them all the time, and sometimes it's for life.
I have no idea about that.
I have heard of that. It might be a different animal, but yeah.
But that's more of a sea otter. But yeah, but river otter, sea otter, that's okay. Otter. I'll just change it to otter.
Okay. And we are operating under the assumption that all these things are soulless. I don't know if we can confirm this. I don't know if we want to get into a theological debate here, but
I'm taking the questioner at their assumptions, not my own.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
So I'll say Chinaman because
oh boy.
Fuck yeah.
You know, they're pretty good food over there, and now they're getting things like color TV and all that kind of stuff. So,
Don?
I will choose a Chihuahua. I think I would be good at voicing one. I don't know. So
yeah. That's true.
I'm picturing that Don's
fantastic.
voice on a Chihuahua. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
It's interesting that you people think animals don't have souls.
We just covered this.
No, I know. Look, that anyone could... It's fine. I mean, I'm going to go with the obvious answer, which is cyanobacteria.
What is that? A coronavirus? What is that?
Yeah, it's blue-green algae.
Oh, okay. Why?
Simple as that. Well, as you know, my name starts with a CY, and so does cyanobacteria. It's also a nice color, depending on who you ask.
It's all over the world.
Right, and it's photosynthetic, so just like...
Yeah. It's the first trophic level of any ecosystem.
That's right, just like me.
I feel like you want to take this opportunity to kind of spread out your experience a little bit, try something new, but no, we're just going with the same old algae life that you already live. Okay.
Yep. I'm comfortable here. I know 3 types of guns.
All right, how about this one? When you take a shit, you feel more comfortable when said shit's color is lighter or darker?
Ugh. I'm not answering that. I don't want to think about that.
I have to choose between light or dark?
Well, which one are you more pleased with?
Well, darker means typically, depending on how dark, that there's blood somewhere along the way. So if it's dark blood, I have like a gastric bleed, and that's not going to be good. If it's too light, I mean, what's the worst it could mean? You ate some muffins, some wrong muffins. That's fine. I'll go with that.
Okay. I have never thought about this. um, yeah, the color does not kind of factor into anything for me. If it's outside of any sort of normal range, it doesn't matter if it's light or dark. That kind of raises some alarm. But if it's within the normal range, then I'm fine.
I'll go with darker because that means usually that you have some sort of gastric bleed and therefore you die sooner.
Oh, you can always count on him for a laugh.
All right, how about this one? This is kind of a thinker. What are your thoughts on pacifism?
I'm going like a stinker.
Gay and fake.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Go ahead. I have to calm down.
I don't have any nuanced thoughts on it. I think it's like one of those things that's like a best policy, or a best practice. I think it would be cool if we could try to keep ourselves from violence and combat as much as possible. But I don't think that it is ever possible to fully avoid it, and I think it's a little bit naive to think that you can. So it should just be in your back pocket as like the last option available. But I don't think you can get rid of it. That's about it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, I don't like the idea of a absolute sort of take on pacifism, but as a general sort of sentiment, and even kind of like if you identify as a pacifist in some kind of way, but you sort of understand that like that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't defend yourself or other people or something like that, like then that's fine, you know. But I do think it's a little bit silly to just never commit to violence in any situation.
Yeah, I consider myself a man of peace in that I would, always pick nonviolence. I don't know. That's why I like to retweet the Dalai Lama and whatnot. And also because I get a lot of people that are very angry whenever I do that.
I endorse him.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't know how pacifist that is, Don.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I'm, roundabout
Got his
way.
ass. At the end of the day, look, I don't use this word as much as most people my age do. Pacifism it's a privilege. Come on. Plus, I'm not going to advocate for hedonism, but you got to know how good it feels to harm someone who deserves it.
That's no good.
I see your point about it being a privilege, but I mean, there are people who are very principled and self-sacrificial pacifists too, who refuse
like Donald
combat. Yeah. Who refuse to commit violence, even if it would be violence that, say, protected them or saved their life. So it's not just like, it's not only people who can just get away with saying it because they're never going to be faced with conflict. But I think that's probably most of the people that we know who would say that about themselves.
I don't think you should be able to choose to be a martyr.
I think I sign off on that sentiment. I know what you mean.
So if you're like, I'm self-flagellating,
No. I'm not talking about someone who goes out of their way to put themselves in harm's way so that they can then be like, guess what? I'm not going to rise to the bait or something like that.
I don't know.
I'm talking about anyway.
I don't know. Even thinking about, I don't know what exact group of people you're thinking about when you describe, I dare not guess. But there's something just kind of gay about it, It's just fucking gay. Like, just, oh, we're all so fucking impressed. Yes. Like, you're just a narcissist, dude. You're just a narcissist. I don't care how close to God you are, you're gay, all right? And not in the cool way, all right? And that gets a Sydney signature, all right?
You're saying all the things I'm not allowed to say on here anymore, Sid. I really appreciate it.
Seek God. That's what I say.
All right, so here's I'll call it a comment that sort of follows up from the last one. It's all in caps. It says, "Fuck them traitors. Everything was won through violence. People's war is universal. People's war until communism. Destroy America with 3 Ks. Fires gun into the air."
See, this is the exact. This shows that no one has the monopoly on being gay, because he's saying the exact opposite thing and is still extremely fucking gay.
Probably, yeah. That's a punchable sentiment.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a good justification or a good argument against pacifism in the sense that this person
needs to be shot.
Yeah, deserves a little bit of violence.
Imagine typing America with 3 Ks.
I don't have to imagine.
Like, what are you giving? Like, whatever gender, I honestly non-gender. Whoever wrote that is genderless, and we all know it. They are just patting themselves on the back so fucking hard, just creaming over. Oh my god. I can't believe I finally got to say something so impactful.
I don't like the choice of America with the 3 Ks when you have a perfectly good United Snakes with the $sign for the S's.
Do you know what's funny? I almost said that exact sentence just to say. I was gonna lead with the United Snakes bit, so yeah.
These two, they're cut from the same cloth.
They are.
Kente cloth. God.
All right, let's do another one here. My girlfriend is a eugenicist. How can I convince her that men with micropenises should not be euthanized?
Okay.
Well, this is a good time to mention our new sponsor, BlueChew.com. You can go to BlueChew.com and you can demonstrate to your girlfriend why people with micropenises should not be euthanized.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's.
I don't know. I was pretty blindsided by that question. Penis size is not the first thing I think of when I think of eugenics. So
right.
It's not like a heritable trait. It's like it's a little oopsie that happens every once in a while.
My little oopsie.
Some people say that people with micropenises, just like people with Down syndrome, can go on to live normal, healthy lives. And that's
well, people say a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have. I don't really have any thoughts on this. I'm sorry.
We're siding with your girlfriend on this one, bud. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's another Kanye West question. Is Kanye West a Muslim Tom-like figure for black people? As in, is he a race traitor? Oh, okay. So this is our friend.
Yeah, curveball.
I thought he was going for like an inspirational truth teller, that kind of a thing. And I was like, hell yes, he is. And then, oh, wait, huh?
He gotcha.
Although I thought I was the Muslim Tom-like figure for black people, though.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. Is Muslim a race? I don't know. Currently unclear. Science has not defined race yet.
I don't think he's a race traitor.
Interesting. I'm white. I don't know if anyone was wondering.
We picked up on that.
So I'm a white person. I don't feel very qualified to really even say Kanye West's name. So.
Well, okay. I'll just we'll just go with my take then as the.
Yep.
It's the
Sure.
kind of bona fide POC.
Oh my God. We Gary's modded you into being a Muslim.
Tom, will you give me permission to use the N-word? Yeah, sure.
You got
Go
it.
for it. Knock yourself out, bud. 9/11 inside job.
Is that all it says?
Yeah, that's all it says.
Thank
Say
you
no
so
more.
much.
Thank you.
I haven't honestly looked at 9/11 truth stuff too closely. I remember when that first started popping up and people were talking about that. I thought it was funny to kind of say, like, of course it was an inside job. Arabs couldn't pull something like that off.
I knew a group of Arabs that made that claim to me, and I was like, "That is not. That's not like. Come on, you know."
I thought Don was about to admit that he knew
did it?
about the act before
Oh,
it
yeah,
happened,
yeah.
and just chose not to
Sure.
stop it, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine and same. You know, I knew a group of Arabs with a funny idea about justice.
Yeah. I just thought they wanted office supplies. I don't know.
Stopping by the Twin Towers to get some stickies. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, there is some pretty weird stuff that indicates that there was foreknowledge of the attacks, that people who probably should have said something didn't say stuff, like the people that had the I don't even remember the specific facts, but it's like people getting rid of documents and moving them around, and insurance policies changing and all kinds of weird stuff. And something happened besides just like Allahu Akbar, boom, 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 you know? So,
That's
I don't know.
probably the most flippant way I've heard it.
Boom, boom, boom. I wonder if anyone's made like a children's book about 9/11 yet.
Yeah, Hamas probably.
I feel like I know what that means, Tom, and I'm laughing at it. I feel like I might be able to corner. I'm gonna get started on that. You guys know any graphic design, or you just DM me after?
Yeah. If anyone wants to help Sid out with this little project, go ahead and DM her. We'll put her Twitter thing in the show notes.
Thank you.
Okay, shots fired on Don here. Let's see. I'm starting to suspect Don is using irony to smuggle some very beige, mediocre takes. They're on to you, Don. You're smuggling beige, mediocre takes, and they see you.
There's nothing worse than being beige.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, most of the stuff I say, I think just say it because it sounds funny to me. It's not like I'm trying to, although I do think that like probably the best title of a CD ever is Joe Biafra's "I Blow Minds for a Living." So I think that like I try to live up to that, and about my tweets about I don't know like the DSA or whatever. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah.
Well, I can go ahead and refute that. The first refutation is that the best album name is obviously The Hermit of Meek Hollow, which is a Todd Rundgren.
That's a good one.
Second, thank you. Second, Dawn. I'll die defending this man. I'm sickened to my core at such an accusation.
Don, what do you think? Which what are they talking about? Which takes do you think that someone is very angry at you for, and thinks that you have some milquetoast stuff going on?
I would guess that it's religion is the top one, probably.
What's wrong with being beige and mediocre with your takes? Like most takes that are correct are probably boring in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I really doubt that like every single correct opinion in the world is on some extreme.
Okay, well let's not lean into this. We're supposed to be saying I'm revolutionary and brilliant and all that. Yeah, so.
They call you Good News Hughes now. That's what I hear. All right, let's wrap it up with a quick one here at the end. Let's see. Okay. Are there any demons, angels, or jinn with Twitter accounts? And if so, have you followed, blocked, or muted any of them?
I block and
Yes.
mute them. Yes, I forgot to
Yes.
answer that part. Yes.
Yeah.
I think every Twitter account is a kind of a jinn, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, it's interesting. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I think, for me, I don't want to mute the jinn. I like to, keep an eye on them, see what sort of dangerous, little seedy little nightmares they're getting involved in.
That makes mute the jinn sound a lot like name the Jew, which is...
Mute the
Does
jinn.
it? Does it?
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that.
just want to see what the kind of seedy little tricks they're up to.
I'm thinking specifically, there's one jinn that most people should be following just to keep up with what's going on, and that's Auk Chronicles.
Oh, yeah.
100% jinn
Oh.
energy.
He's going to be coming on the show in the next couple of weeks to talk evolution, actually.
That's really brave of you. I hope you're going to wear a kente cloth to protect yourself.
Well,
Can
yeah.
you guys tell that I just recently learned what a kente cloth is? I gotta get
Do you
my
kind of know the
jinn.
funny irony behind the Democrats wearing that? Do you know like the specifics of the people that the kente cloth comes from were actually like notorious slave traders in Africa?
Oh, that's so dope. Wow.
Yeah,
It
so
goes deeper.
I don't know. I heard that from some like right wing thing or whatever, so I don't know if that's
I'm
true.
glad you didn't investigate it any further, Tom. Thank you.
I
If
hear
it's
what
in a
I want to
headline,
hear, and I
that's
just
right.
nod and keep moving.
Everyone I follow on Twitter is an angel. So there we go.
Aww.
Yeah. So anyways, you can sign up for $5
Looking for my angel.
This has been a fun episode. I've been so well behaved lately, and this was kind of got to say a lot of
How
fun
dare
stuff.
you? Did you guys see my own today on a army string on the TL?
Oh god.
No.
No.
It is really worth looking into just as a little snack.
All right. So everyone go check out, what is it, @ScreamComer on Twitter.
You
For
tell
more
me.
of
Yeah. That's
for
right.
more wisdom from Sid.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Sid.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was a
for
lot of fun,
having me,
thanks.
and I'm so sorry. Dawn, I love you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Absolutely rocked.
That was lava hot. That was not beige at all.
All right. So if you like to hear another episode of You Can't Win every week, you can subscribe to our Patreon, and you will get that as well as access to our Discord. And that will allow you to chat with us in our community. And don't forget that we have a Curious Cat where you can send anonymous questions, and the link to that is pinned to the podcast's Twitter account. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.